Guys are not typing how you do. Okay, let me type out my notes. So that's how my day was. I think you can do that even as we proceed. So I'll do a brief intro on why the topic for today is important for all of us, and we believe that's why we are all here. So at NdovuCloud, our mission is actually to empower communities in Kenya and around the world to use software over the internet to help run their businesses and solve problems. And we do this using the power of cloud and data. We believe data is the next frontier in any business gaining competitive advantage. And because businesses are run by people, we believe the people that work for these businesses and impact them every day is very important that they get equipped. I'll share a brief presentation that I prepared just for context, to contextualize some of these facts. So, so I hope you can see my screen. And recently I was reading an article by Harvard Business Review, and these are some of the things they were saying, that over the next decade, more than 1 billion jobs worldwide will be transformed by advances in AI, robotics, and digitalization. I think for today, digitalization is the part we are looking at, because data analytics falls under digitalization. Digitalization is a lot of stuff. It's transforming business processes and how they run their show every other day, and how they seek to compete and deliver value to customers. And so I think that's a very key part. So with that in mind, technological disruption is happening at a very quick rate, and skills are reaching, have a very short shelf life. I think if you knew how to use AOL Messenger, that was in 2000s, early 2000s to some things. Right now, I think that's no one. I'm very sure very few people even know what AOL was. Right now, we're talking about Facebook Messenger and all these other chatting platforms, WhatsApp for business and all that. So someone was kind of guru in chats that were being used in early 2000s. Right now, they are outdated. So there is a very short shelf life for these skills. And I think notwithstanding, even some of the tools right now, I think that we're using, in some few years to come, they will be obsolete. I think we are now talking of things like virtual reality, augmented reality, a lot of automation happening for the industrial revolution. And some of the statistics they are, according to Harvard Business Review, is that all the key functions in any company or organization, finance, IT, sales, if you're in any of those roles, for you to really deliver at high performance, you have to gain 10 new skills every 18 months. That is if you to deliver. If you to compete, probably you have to gain more than 10 skills every 18 months. So we're talking at very intense kind of learning and gaining new skills. And we believe now every business being data oriented, initially we were saying software, every company is now a software company because they are using a lot of software to run their business. But now we're talking of every company is now a data company, because there's a lot of data running in every company. And I think all our jobs that we do today can one way or another be attributed to just running data processes at the back end. So I think with that in mind, that gives us the context of today's why it's important to be survey around data analytics, and not just for our professional life, but I think for even personal life. You need to understand even at household level, how am I running stuff, how am I managing my salary? I think that's all part of being analytical. So like some of the skills even needed at workplace are actually also needed even to run your own personal life. And I think that's what we are trying to impact into the ecosystem, and so that we can all win. So I hope we'll have an insightful session, and we'll all gain value. Thank you. Kitonga will be the one taking us through the training, now the core of training through the tool, and then we'll have closing Q&A and final remarks. Thank you. Kitonga.
Thank you, Joseph. I'll take it up from here. So as Joseph has just discussed, today it's mainly about data analytics and business intelligence. So today we'll be going through mainly just doing visualizations with our platform, which is Nexselligence. We call it the next level of intelligence, because we believe businesses should move to that next level. So I'll just share my screen and also share somewhere where you guys can access. So let me share that. You guys can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're hearing me loud and clear, give me a thumbs up so that it can get going. So first of all, this is workspace.ndovcloud.com. This is where you access all our solutions. That is, we have around four solutions. We have 4 solutions: managed databases, Nexselligence, which is what we'll look through today. We also have an omni-channel which enables you to access your messages from email, from WhatsApp, from Telegram, from Twitter, all on one dashboard, but we'll not be going into that. And we also have a website builder where you can build your website in less than 10 minutes. But that is if you have the technical expertise to do that. So I'll share in the links on the chat, I'll share where you can access. If you want to follow along with what you're doing, just visit the links I'm posting. Just one moment. July workshop. You can use that, or can either go through that using that link, or you can go to the other one. There are two: www.julyworkshop.ndovcloud.com or julyworkshop.ndovcloud.com. So I already have an account in our workspace. So what I'll do is log in with Google. So if you do not have an account and you're a new user to us, you usually have to fill in either using the Gmail, and then you'll get a pop-up to add in extra details, such a pop-up. But then because I already have my details in the system, I'll just refresh it and it comes clean. So from here, the 4 solutions I was mentioning is the analytics, what we'll be going through today. And then we have databases, where it's just the storage of your data. We are offering MySQL currently. So you just need to have a database name and a root password, and you're able to get a database from us, and we're the ones who manage everything. We have website builders. So a website builder where you can build your own website, and then the omni-channel, which enables you to have your Twitter messages, your Instagram messages, your email, and also your WhatsApp messages on one dashboard. So I'll get started on analytics. So on analytics, if you're a new user, you usually go to the get started and add in a workspace name and a workspace description. But because I do not want the dummy data that we put for users, I'll just use the one that I currently have. So once you're here, but if you're following along with me, just go to July Workshop. From here, you do not need a password, you do not need anything. You'll go straight into the system that I am going into. So if you're following along with me, go to the links I just posted. Duncan, you can keep posting them for those who are coming in after I have already sent them. So from here, I click on that trial. I hope you guys are still with me, Duncan.
Yeah, sure, we are.
Yeah, that's right. So from here, this is the Nexselligence dashboard. So at the top, we have Nexselligence, which is the name of the application. And then we have dashboards, we have charts, we have a Sql editor, and we have data, where we have databases and data sets. So what we'll be going through is, if you go to July Workshop, on dashboards, there's a dummy dashboard that is already there, absenteeism analytics. I want to do a dummy of the same, but I'll not do all the charts on it, but I'll do a few just to show how the system operates. So we'll need a database first of all, and then from the database we get tables, and then from the tables we create 4 or 5 charts or 3 charts, and then we have a final dashboard. So I'll just keep into data, the top tab data, and then go to databases. And then at the right-hand side far right, we have add database. So we support Postgre, we support Presto, we support MySQL, we support SQLite, we support MS SQL, we support Druid, we support Google Sheets, we support. If you do not find your database among these, just you can contact us and we'll find a way to add it. But the most common ones, MySQL, Presto, Postgre, and MS SQL, those ones are added. You just need to have the details. So to connect your database so you can get your data, you need your host name, you need your port, you need a database name, you need a username, and you need a password. There are 2 ways to connect your database. You could either use this form, or you could scroll down to connect this database using the SQL Alchemy URI. So if I click on that, then you need to add 2 details. First, the display name. I'll call this workshop for myself. Workshop database. And then instead of writing it out, I'll just get the link to the database. So, and then I explain what it is. So this is a MySQL database. As you can see, MySQL at the top. This is usually the username. And then this is the password. This is the host. This is the server which hosts the database. And then this is the port that the database is listening to, what I can use to access from outside. And then this is my database, the one that I want to access and get data. So once I'm here, I need to test my connection to ensure that I get this connection looks good. If, for instance, I have an error in my password, let me just change that. I should get an error. So there's no need to connect a database that is not working. So let me change that to what is correct and test again, and the connection looks good. So before I connect my database, there's another tab next to basic, which is advanced. So I have mentioned a Sql editor at the top while you were beginning. And for that, for me to be able to access this database from that, I need to expose my database in the SQL lab. And I also need the data manipulation. This is for things like update, delete, and insert. If you do not enable this, you're only able to do select statements. This is for SQL. So I will not be going into details into that, but I can leave it at that. I just want to mention it in case someone explores on the SQL editor. So, and then also if you'd like to add in or to insert CSV files or Excel files into the database, you go to security. At the bottom, there's allow data upload, but we'll not also be needing that for this session. So I just click connect, and at my list, I did not have any databases, but now I have workshop database. So we have just completed the first step where we have our database. Now I need to get a table from this database. So what do? I go to data and then click on data sets. So, and then on the right-hand side, I have a plus data set. So remember the name you add for your database. So I have workshop database. And then the schema is the one that I had at the far end, the one that I said /workshop. So I just select that and I'm able to get it. And then now these are the list of tables in that database. Currently, we only have one, the common data, the one that we'll be using. It's data on absenteeism of employees. So I just click add. Now I'm able to have a data set. This is just my table that has been copied into Nexselligence, and I can use it from here. And whatever I do here doesn't affect the main database. So whatever is on common data in the database is not affected. But if data trickles into the main database, common data, or into the workshop, this common data will change. But what I do here doesn't affect what is on the other end. So you can experiment as much as you want. So now we already have a database. We already have a data set, common data that we'll be using. So now we go into the process of creating a few charts and see what we can visualize using this data. So I'll go into charts just next to the SQL lab. So we'll create 4 or 5 depending on our time. So we have tried to ensure that there's consistency in the system. So everything that it needs to be added is usually on the right. So even adding a new chart is on this other side, the right side. So I click add chart. And then on add chart, you remember we had the data sets. We just added common data. So that is what I'll need to use for choose a data set. And then we have 57 charts that you can choose from. So if you click on the chart, it gives you a description of what the chart does. So you have to know your charts. If you want a bar chart, you want to do comparisons, you find a bar chart. If you want to know trends, you find a line chart. If you want to know what piece of the whole a particular group is holding, you go for the pie chart. So you have to know your charts before you use the system, but we try to curate everything as a chart. So I'll start with finding my data set. So I just type in common and it pre-populates for me. So I get common data. And then I'll start with the first and simplest chart, which is usually the big number, which just does a summation of something or an average of something. So after you've chosen a data set and you also have your chart chosen, you click on create new chart. So this loads into the area where you can create your charts. So on the left-hand side here, you can change your data set. If, for example, you chose a wrong one, just click on edit data set and you're able to change it. Or view in Sql Lab if you wanted to go to a Sql Lab. So I have 15 columns in this data set. So I have a month, I have an employee number, I have a surname, I have a given name, I have a gender, I have a city, I have a job title, I have a department name, a store, division, age, absent hours, business unit, and month name. So the most critical ones for me will be the absent hours, because we are trying to calculate the absenteeism and see which departments are leading, which genders are leading, and then we can do some visualizations on that. So the left-hand side is usually the data set and the columns. The middle is where you do, you play around with your chart. So you have the data where you have the metrics. So you can see you have a metric here, you have your filters, you have your headers, and then the customize is where you play around with the font size, the colors, the number formatting, and all that. So I'll go to the data. From here, you have to note something I didn't mention on the columns. The column that shows temporal data, something like a month or time, usually has a clock. Something that is an integer usually has an hash, and something that is a string usually has ABC. So that is something to note. So if you look at on the left-hand side, you can see month has a clock, you can see employee number has hash, and you can see given name has ABC, meaning the string is an integer and it's a temporal value. So the time column usually is pre-selected for you. If you have more than one, they'll be listed here. But if it's only one, it be selected. If you do not have any, it does not select anything for you. The time grain is just how you data, the frequency of your data, maybe day, maybe original value, maybe weekly, maybe quarter. So that is based new. So now to get a metric in, which is the most critical in every chart, I just need to drag and drop the column that I want. So note a metric is a number, so I need to do a calculation. So I cannot drag a string. So I'll drag absent hours. And then all the simple calculations that are done on things like CSVs or Excel documents are added into the system. So you can have a sum, you can have minimum, you can have max, you can have a count distinct, you can have an average. So if it's not amongst these, you go to a custom SQL. There's a lot of SQL in the system, so take a note of that. So because I'm just doing the summation of the absent hours, I just have that. If, for example, I had to do the absent hours multiplied by something like 10, that is what I'll do. I just come to custom SQL and just type in whatever I want to do. So I'll delete that and then ensure you change the name here. So this is total absentee hours. And I click save. So from here now I create my chart. So you can see there There are things like how chats should be created in BI platforms, things like shortening numbers. So we ensure those principles are followed on the system. And but if you wanted to have the whole number, you would just come here to customize and then have the whole number. But it's not advisable not to shorten the number. So you use adaptive formatting so that you don't have something like 39,000 written in whole. Just have the K to represent the thousands. So from here, now the chart is what formulates a dashboard. So from this chart, I could either label it from here. There's at the top, there's add the name of the chart, or just click on save, and then it will still ask me for the chart name. So I can just say total absentee hours. And then because I do not have any dashboard on the system, all I need to do is type in the name. So today we're dealing with absenteeism. So I'll just call it that as well. So you need to type in the name and then click on it for it to create for you. So you just save and go to the dashboard. So in my dashboard now, I should have one chart because it just created. It gives you a pop-up to tell you the chart has been created and has been added. Now, on this chart, I want us to add a few more charts, and then we can come to the edit dashboard and do a few things, see if we are following all the principles, and then we can pick it from there. Duncan, I'm still clear. I hope so.
Yeah, you are very clear, very clear.
All right, let's keep going. So back to the charts. The principles I'm talking about, let me also send the link via the chat so that you guys can be able to access them and also ensure that we are following them. Let me just send that via chat and then can keep posting it. I hope it's not too long. Yeah, I've sent that there. Yeah, so now we have one chart, total absentee hours, which is a big number. So I want us to create a comparison either between two departments, that would be business units, or between two genders. So I still select the data set again, and then you can just search here bar chart and gives me the description. It compares metrics from the different categories using bars. So let me just create that. So now from here, it's all the same, columns on the left, the chart at the center. And if you had made an error while selecting the chart, just click on view all charts and you're able to select again. Or if it's among the 5 common ones, that is the bar chart, the line chart, the table, the big number, the pie chart, the time series, or the area chart, you just select it from there. So the time is the same. The metrics, I need the absentee hours again. I just need to do the summation. Select the sum there, give it a name, total absentee hours. Then I click on save again. But now there is one more metric that has been added into the bar chart, the dimensions. So now I need to separate my bars. For example, if I wanted the gender, I would drag and drop gender, but I want to do the business unit one so that you can see what departments usually have the highest level of absenteeism. So we can see we have two departments in the data. I believe this data is a bit different from the one you guys are seeing on July workshop, and also the ones who are on our cloud platform. It's a bit different. So this one has stores and has the head office. We can remove clutters like the legend and have maybe values at the top. We could add in on the customize, you can remove the legend because of the clutter. I believe on that link that I just sent, there is on a particular number, remove things like clutter. Do not have things that are disorienting what you want the user to see. So we can remain with the rich tooltip. The colors, you just select the color scheme that you want and that changes for you. And there are also aspects like people who are colorblind. So if you're doing dashboards, also be aware of that. If you're using things like abbreviations, you could be using BM to mean bank manager, and then on the chart you use it to mean benchmark. that inconsistency is also a problem when doing dashboards. So keep a note of that. So we could label our y-axis as well. So this is the y-axis, this is absentee hours. Absentee hours. Yeah, we can leave the minimum bound. For example, if I had the minimum bound is 20K, 21 to 3. That might disorient the chart a bit. So I always ensure, or in the circumstances that is possible, always ensure that the bar chart starts from 0, because you might notice sometimes you start from a larger number and then the comparison is not quite right, because you can see like this one is 35.3K and this is 3.78K. So the comparison or the distance you can see from the bar chart actually gives a clearer picture or a right picture. Then these are business units on the x-axis, business units. So I took a bit of time on that one, but I'll just save it. And so if you have noticed, the dashboard has been selected for us. So this is a comparison between those stores, its head office. So if you notice, our dashboard has been pre-selected for you. So the system will, using analytics or AI, be able to tell that you're doing this dashboard, so it pre-selects for you. So if you're using another one, it will just pre-select that for you, unless you want to change it. So you just click on it and you're able to get the others. So I'll just save that. So we have 2 charts ready. I'll do, I think, a 3rd one and a 4th one, and then we can go to the dashboard. So we have 2 now. For these ones, we can go a bit quick because not much is changing. So it's the same formula for all the charts. So I'll do a line chart so that we can see the trend. I can do a smooth one, so it gives the same description for you. Just click create chart. So on the metric, on the time grain, I want to use the original value. And then on the metric, I do the same because it's the absenteeism hours. I just drag and drop. I do a summation. I can leave the name. It's necessary to give in the name of the column that you're dealing with, but sometimes you can just leave it as it is. It is usually no issue. And then I can just create the chart. I do not need to change the contributions or change anything else. So this is how, depending on the months, the trend. You can see April is a bit high. You can see October is also quite high, maybe due to their holidays or something. You can see a drop in August. There's sunshine, there's more money, people are in the office, such things. So I also need to remove the legend on that side. I do not like the clutter, so that is better. I give that name, so trend of absenteeism. So I want to do a predictive also on the same dashboard. So that is the last chart I'll do. That's the last chart we should do. So predictions, we're using the Fourier theory to do predictions for our data sets. So on your own free time, the July workshop will be live throughout the week. So you can just access it and try and do a few of these things if we are going a bit too fast. So the predictions are usually on eCharts. So if you go to eCharts, anything that has a time series will be able to do a prediction for you. So I can just select one time series chart. Click on create new chart. So you can have the time grain as a day. You can have my absent hours, just do a sum. So find the totals. So let's predict which department will have higher rates dimensions. Let me go for genders. See the between the female and male. So first of all, just create the chart. But if you scroll down, there are 3 tabs. These are what we use to do the advanced analytics. So the advanced analytics usually has things like the mean and the actual value is the mean, the percentage difference. So I do not want to use that. You can either use that, you can do annotations that is aligned to show what is the highest level, what is the lowest level, and such things. But now I want to use the predictive analysis. So if you have interacted with things like Jupyter Notebook, to do a simple prediction takes about 15 lines of code. But on this one, I just need to select the enable forecast. And then the forecast periods are the period I want to select for. So for example, I want to forecast, this data is up to 2021. So I need to forecast for 3 months. So I put 3, and then the confidence level, how accurate do you want the model to be? And then you could either have a yearly seasonality based on your data. For example, I only have 2021, so it would not make sense to select the yearly seasonality. So I'll go with the weekly, and then we see if it's able to predict for us or what happens. So the prediction takes a bit of time, but at the long last, you're able to find the data. So if you have a lump sum amount of data, it will take some time, especially because the trial version and the business pack, they do not have things we call asynchronous query executions. What I mean by that is the analyses are done on another server, and then the results are sent to the front end. But for this one, the trial and the business pack, they do not have that. So for the analysis, the prediction, what happens, you can see it gives you a higher level, and then a upper limit and the lower limit, and then what was produced. So for example, you can see in, this is 2021, October 10th, I believe that's October. The females had 1.8K. That was the predicted amount of hours they would be absent from the office. And the system had predicted 1.82K. So it's somewhere in between there. So the upper limit was 1.6K, and the lower was 1.6, the upper was 2.08. So let's go to somewhere where we do not have the data. So in 2022, I do not have any data on 2022. So January 2022, it predicts the females will have 1.8K. So it's around the same level that they're getting. And then the males will have 1.3 total hours, 1.3K total hours of absenteeism in the company. So you're able to tell using your prediction or based on the trends what is likely to happen in the organization, what business units are likely to be more absent and such things. So I'll just save it so that we can go ahead and do a few things. So I can just call this prediction gender absenteeism. And then it has already selected absenteeism analytics for me. So now I want us to play around with the dashboard so that we can get a feel of how you do it. So if you look at it now, all the charts I created are on this dashboard. I have the big number, I have a bar chart for comparison, I have a trend line to show me the patterns, and I have the prediction. So let me just click on edit. So you can, if you hover on them, there is a bin icon or a delete icon at the top. Just click on that icon, so you can have a fresh dashboard without anything. So the left-hand side, if you come to the right-hand side, I have on the left, I have charts. On the right, I have layout elements. So the layout elements are what we use to ensure consistency in the dashboard. And the first one I'd like, if you look at the dashboard on what is it called, on July Analytics, on July workshop.NdovuCloud.com, you're able to see there is a header. So all I need to do to get a header is just drag and drop. So I can call this absenteeism analytics. But thinking about it, I would not need a header because I already have the name, but I needed to show how you do that. So just remove that. Now, why do I need? You can have a description. So you use the markdowns. It's close to CSS. So all you need is, you need to know the tags. That is a paragraph. So you need to know the headers and all that shit. So let me just delete what is already there. So for the description, sorry, let me delete that. So if you wanted to explain what this dashboard does, you just need the opening tags, just like a paragraph, simple P, and then absenteeism analytics is This of employee to 10 work, something like that. I just close the tags. It's just a paragraph. So, and then I have to play around with it so that it doesn't occupy too much real estate and it's just a single line. So you can have that. But also note on having scroll downs on charts. If it's a chart, you can have all the data displayed on the dashboard. Just have it as a chart, because we talk of things like a report and a dashboard. If I have a million rows on a table in a dashboard, that is a report, and you're just asking me to figure things out for myself. If I have a scroll down, I believe that becomes a report. But a dashboard, you should be able to view everything at a glance, your whole business at a glance. So let me go to, now I need to add a row. Rowing goes like this, and then the columns are like this. So I need to add a row. So if you drag an element, there is usually a blue line at the bottom which tells you where the element is going. So if you check mine, you can see the row is placed below the markup or the description of the dashboard. So on this one, all I need to have, I wanted to have a few more, but all I need to have is the big number, the total one, so total absenteeism hours. So if you have charts on one line, ensure they are on the same line, so that align all the elements so that you're able to get the consistency. So I needed these and a few. If you look at the one on the workshop, you have a few filters here, but we are deprecating the filters that are taking real estate on the dashboard. So I'm going to show another method of doing the filters. So the big number, I want it to be accessible to all the tabs. So on this dashboard, you can also have the tabs like the ones that you have on Google Chrome or on any other browser. So for example, I could have an executive summary. And I could also have the mid-level. So these are just tabs like the ones that you have on Google Chrome. And then you can have, the last one is the prediction can be on their own. Now I'm able to add charts on each and every tab and separate what I'm accessing. So I'll just drag a row into the executive summary and get the chart. So I can have one chart on executive summary, one chart on mid-level, and another chart on prediction. So you can go with the comparison between stores and head office on executive summary. So now this chart will only be available. You can just size it a bit. Available on executive summary. If I go to mid-level, you see there are no charts, so I have to add the charts there. If you want it to be accessible on all the charts, I just drag the row. Do not ensure there's no blue line above any of the tabs. Just drag the row like that, and you're able to add the charts on every tab. But you do not want to use that. I want to use per tab. So you can notice when on mid-level there's a blue line at the top. That means that row is going into mid-level. So now I go to charts and just select one, trend of absenteeism. We can have that. We can resize it a bit. Can have it there, because we do not have many charts. It look haphazard to some extent, but we'll go with it. So layout levels, I need one more on predictions. So that goes there, and then you can have a prediction chart there. So you can just drag it to the end. There's no issue with that. So this one, because it's alone, can do that. We do not need that for a bar chart because it will not look good. So if you have things like the colors for your company, you just need to edit CSS there, and you're able to load a CSS template. So now from here, I just click save, and I have my dashboard. So you can, if you click on mid-level, you have only one chart. You click on prediction, you only have one chart. If you click on executive summary, you only have one chart. So there's no chart that is sharing with the other. So this is how you do it, just like you do it on a browser. And then you can drill down on each chart. So you can either view the query, you're able to see this is a, if you want to do it using SQL, just copy that command and go to the SQL lab and you're able to do it. You can drill down to detail and see what is happening on that chart. So you can see in this business unit, it shows me that here it's shortened because of consistency, but now you can see the whole number from here. If it's the predictions, I just come, if it's just the same on all the charts. But something I have to mention, if we were using a filter, we'll just go to charts before we came up with the new feature. This is what used to happen. So let me select common data. So if you need to select, for example, April only and see what is the level of absenteeism in April only. So just type filter. So we used to use it as a chart, but this used to take real estate on the dashboard, which we found not right based on customer research and also getting feedback from users. So I'll remove the date filter. I do not need that. I have to put in the instance filtering so that I do not have a button here to tell me apply filter. So what I need to do to have a filter, I do not drag and drop. For this one, it's different. You need to click on the plus sign on filters. You get an NA. Let me just show that again. Click on the plus sign, you get an NA, and then edit the NA, you get the columns. So from here, just select the column you need. I need the month name, and just select outside. And that creates the month filter for you. So if I update the chart, I should be able to get the months here. So I'm able to select July, June, May, September, wherever I want from there. So let me just save it and take it to the dashboard so that we are able to see it. So this is a monthly filter. So if you're just joining us, I'm very sorry. It has been a long 50 minutes, and I hope you just get at least something from it. So if you look at it now, let me edit the dashboard so that I bring the, if you look at this monthly filter, it's on every chart, but I do not need it there. I want it to come here. So I go to charts and then find monthly filter. You can see the blue line at the end, so that shows it comes here. I ensure it aligns with the other one. So there you go. So I have my monthly filter. So this is what used to happen with the filters before. So like now, if I select April, the data changes to only April. You can see stores are still leading in April. Mid-level, there's no data for April on that. So that is what we used to do for filters. But now we are changing it to a dashboard filter whereby you can have your filters outside the dashboard so that they do not take space into a dashboard. You don't need to be presenting to your executive level or someone in the mid level and you're presenting filters to them. So you just add filters from this side. So give the filter a name. I can have a monthly filter. Then I can just select the column from here, month name, and then you just save it. This does exactly the same thing that this one would be doing, but now you just select from here, April, and apply filters. And then you can see it affects the dashboard, but it's not part of the dashboard. So you could have another chart here or some other things that you could add into the dashboard instead of having this filter here, take some real estate, which is not right. So you can experiment with those features and see if you're able to at least grasp a few things. So once you're done with your dashboard and you're sharing a few users on the same instance, you just need to click it and it gets published so that the next developer or the next analyst is able to tell that the dashboard has been completed. It's not still on draft. So yeah, I hope you did not lose your breath like I did through the 40 minutes, but we can get back to questions now. Joseph, I believe I've shown as much as I would. So today was just the visualization and get a feel of the system. So over to you, Joseph, and you can lead us into a few questions so that we can hear what our audience has to say. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Breton. So Christine asked if the session would be shared Yeah, so we shall upload on YouTube and then share the link on email. So yeah, you can type the questions on the chat, or rather you can raise your hand. You can just unmute you and, oh yeah, William here. Duncan, you can unmute William.
Thank you so much, Joseph and the team.
Yeah.
I think I must say that your platform is so good because I have interacted with Tableau and Power BI. And I think you have something that is a bit different from what I have interacted with. However, before even I continue, my question was, do you have like transformation, like for instance, if I have data and I want to do cleaning or transform before I use it, or does the platform only allow like when you already have clean data set?
That one, you don't take that, or I take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. So William, I mentioned through the discussion that the system is loaded with so much SQL. So for us, it's SQL-based cleaning. So for example, if I had two tables, the common data and another table, I would have to do an inner join to get the details from the two tables, or left join or a right join or something if I need to get data from two tables. But if it's cleaning, I also need to remove the nulls using SQL. So for us, it's SQL-based cleaning, and it's through and through SQL. We believe SQL should be cup and drink for all data analysts, but we hope you're not wrong. So I hope I answered your question, William.
Amazing, amazing. Now,
Yeah.
another thing I think like is kind of like you are changing some kind, like, because what you call is it big data or something where you show figures in Power BI is called KPI. And then when we look at what you call filters in Power BI is called like slicers, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's a good creative, and I would love to interact with your platform and see what I can get from it. Yeah, good work. Yeah.
William, you'll just sign up and pick your trial, and we can engage further and guide you. So there's another question: how reliable does Nexselligence allow collaboration with other team members? Yeah, it allows. You can invite your team to edit the dashboard, to do whatever they want to do. Kitonga, would you want to add on that? Yeah, but it allows that.
This allows that.
How reliable is the predictive function of this software? Please, Jude asks that. Very reliable, 99% accurate. So it uses a package called Prophet. It's a package which was initially made by Facebook, and they tested it through the billions of data points that Facebook has. And so we leveraged on that package. It's a Python package, and so it's a very reliable package that does the predictive analysis, and it's based on Fourier transforms. Donga, do you want to add on that?
On the I saw it's Jude who asked that question. Any predictive model is based on your data. If you're giving it training inputs that are incorrect, it will give you a prediction that is incorrect. So we offer you the small data points to use with your data. If your data offers training out inputs that are incorrect, the outputs will also be the same. It's garbage in, garbage out. But if you're sure with your data, and the good thing is just have so much training data so that you can have, I think, 70% on the side of training, and then the outputs are on the 20%. That way you're sure your model is to an accuracy of around 80, 90 there. That's all, Joseph.
Okay, all right. She continues to say, does this prediction function help with finance like stocks and bonds? Yeah, you can do any form of prediction, I believe.
Yeah, you can also do even qualitative prediction. You just need to convert like a gender, a male and a female. You can give the male one the female 0 or whatever you want. Just give it quantitative numbers, and then you can do the prediction. But it will not do a string prediction, because a string is just a few words.
Yeah.
Just turn it into qualitative data and quantitative data, and you're able to do the prediction. So yeah, Jude, that is able to be done in the system.
Good, great. So I think we've covered all the questions. I don't see any question that we haven't covered. So I think we shall stop there. Thank you so much. Any comments, Duncan? You wanna say something? Closing remarks, parting shot?
For me, I just want to say, first to Gitonga, thank you so much for the very precise, the clear presentation. To the attendees, of course, thank you for showing up. Yeah, so I hope you picked a thing or two or many. So you can just continue exploring the platform as Gitonga has shared for the rest of the week. It will be up, but of course you can sign up for a trial of the same through our website. Yeah, so that's all from my side. It was an amazing evening. And then one last thing, your stats will be coming through. Yeah, just for appreciation. Yeah.
I've shared our website link. You can sign up there and explore your 14 days trial now with your own on your own space workspace. You can check out other offerings that we have, and we hope we'll be doing these, I think, monthly. We'll be having a session every month to train our community more on these. So we hope to see you around, and we hope that we'll be able to offer value as we continue. So thank you so much. Have a great evening. Keep warm. It's pretty cold, and hope to see you around. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.